manslaughter following a fight between the pair, but that's now been withdrawn following a preliminary investigation showing the 54-year-old likely suffered a medical episode. Investigations are continuing. A rideshare driver's been reported after a road rage incident at Onkaparinga Heights on Wednesday. The man got out of his car at a roundabout, swore at a young female driver and ripped a windscreen wiper off her car before throwing it on the ground. Dashcam footage has been posted on social media, and now the 49-year-old man from Sellex Beach has been reported for property damage and summons to appear in court at a later date. We're being warned March is the most dangerous month on the roads in SA. In the last 5 years, 57 people have died on SA roads during March, 8 more than at any other month. Charles Mountain from the RAA says 70% of fatal crashes occurred in regional areas.
It is a timely reminder because obviously we've got the long weekend ahead of us. We've still got good weather. A lot of people will be travelling. And of course we've got a lot happening around Adelaide itself with the fringe activity in Adelaide Cup.
Police will be conducting Operation Stop Drink Drug Drive and Operation Safe Long Weekend. They're also issuing a warning to pedestrians as tens of thousands of people enjoy multiple festivals across Adelaide. The effects of tropical Cyclone Alfred are already being felt as it moves towards the southeast Queensland coast. Wind gusts of 100 k's an hour have been recorded on the Gold Coast, as well as more than 100 mils of rain. The Bureau of Meteorology's Daniel Hayes says the worst is yet to come.
The rainfall impacts, regardless of what the winds do there, are expected to still be quite significant throughout Saturday and into Sunday. In fact, with significant rainfall expected to fall, the potential for heavy to locally intense rainfall over the course of the weekend.
Residents in parts of the Gold Coast have been told to evacuate, with warnings flood levels could reach up to 2 metres above their homes. A passenger who stepped up to help a Jetstar crew member who was allegedly confronted by a man carrying a gun is being offered free flights to Sydney for the rest of the AFL season. Shearer Barry Clark was en route to Sydney to watch his best mate's son Jake Lloyd play his 250th AFL game for the Swans tonight when the drama unfolded at Avalon Airport. Barry, assisted by the pilot and other passengers, helped subdue the man. Jetstar CEO Steph Tully says Barry arrived in Sydney this morning.
Got the warmest reception at Sydney Airport. I saw some footage of him being cheered, which is deserved. And we've said to Barry that we're happy to fly him to any Swans game for the rest of this year on us, because we're very grateful.
A woman has suffered serious leg injuries after being bitten by a shark while paddleboarding in Sydney's south this afternoon. Marine biologist Rob Harcourt says it's likely the shark was just curious.
Even if it just knocked it, it might come up just to say, what is this? Much like they do with surfers. Most of the time they're not trying to kill a surfer, they're coming up, they're having a taste.
Rangers are investigating a brutal attack on a crocodile in far north Queensland. A video circulating online shows the croc with a spear protruding from its head in Cape Tribulation. Wildlife rangers have not been able to locate it. Almost 3 weeks after the draw, a Christie Downs woman has finally come forward to claim $3.3 million in Cross Lotto. She said she had no idea until this week she'd won, and it's still sinking in. Her winning entry was bought at the Colonnades news agency. Now turning to FIVEAA Sport.
Book your tickets for Live Golf on Singapore's Sentosa Island, March 14 to 16, livegolf.com.
Dean Cox will tonight officially become the Swans' 45th coach when they open the AFL season against Hawthorn at the SCG. Meantime, Giants player Darcy Jones has rolled his ankle during training ahead of their opening game against Collingwood on Sunday. Here's Coach Adam Kingsley.
Yeah, just rolled his ankle in one of the drills we were doing, so we'll see how he pulls up. I think he'll be okay, but we'll just monitor him.
Up to 40 mils of rain is predicted on Sunday in Sydney. Collingwood's taking all their emergencies as a precaution. Nick Kyrgios has broken down in tears as he was forced to retire hurt during the opening round of the Indian Wells Open. After losing the first set in a tie-break, he was down 3-love in the second set when he called for a medical time-out before pulling out altogether. And in the Sheffield Shield match in Victoria, South Australia's now 8 for 273, trailing Victoria by 12 runs. Now checking FIVEAA traffic.
Afternoon, 2 trucks involved in a crash on the freeway Dantrix near the Aristobin Alfred just near the tunnels. Look out for that if you're coming that way this afternoon. In the Parklands, we've got Wakefield Road closed for the Adelaide Motorsport Festival. That's through till Sunday. A few delays with the road closures around the east of the city for the Fringe. Lots of people around there. And look out for a camera today. Trimmer Parade at Seaton. Take home a winner, Dan Murphy's Verve Clico Brute Yellow Label, $71.90. Yes, just $71.90. Ends Sunday. Choose to drink wise. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotaMaterialHandling.com.au.
Sunny and 34 today, 36 tomorrow and Sunday, then 37 for the holiday Monday. Right now, 34. Now let's see what's happening on 9 News tonight.
I'm Brenton Raglis. Tonight, shock at Seaton as a man is charged over the death of his brother on a residential street. Vile abuse brings radio host Alit Clark to tears. In 9 News at 6, she details her taxi ordeal as the industry investigates. And Cyclone Alfred, hours away from making landfall. We'll have the latest live from Queensland. 9 News, your news. 986 on 9 and on 9 Now.
Setting the agenda for South Australia. This is 5AA, always Adelaide. The 5AA Sports Show. Rowey.
I am flabbergasted.
And Timmy G.
Absolute sports festival.
It is Friday. The day has finally arrived. It's felt a long wait, 160 days in fact since the grand final, but we've made it. 3 hours time, footy returns with the opening game of the SCG. Sam Tugwell welcoming Rowey and Timmy G.
Yeah, thanks Sam, and get involved tonight, 8223 0000. We've got a lot in store for you. Steve McBurney, AFL Head of Umpiring. The suggestion box is now open on the unique Homestyle Foods text line, so please give us your suggestions in there for the head of AFL umpiring. The long weekend is upon us, but round 0 is starting, and round 0 has asked this.
Should I stay or should I go?
Yes, the Clash. I love it. Hey, give us a text on that. Should it stay or should it go? Or give us a call, 8223 0000. Of course, it's Rusden's Black Guts night up for grabs. Port have an internal trial tonight. The Crows played their match sim this morning. They're at Alberton Oval, Port Adelaide. 5 p.m. training, 5:45. They have 3 periods of match sim. Bring the kids along. They've got performers, food trucks, free face painting, Kids Zone. And Tommy Thunder has come out of surgery after he got that punch in the face last year, and he's fully recovered and raring to go for the trial tonight. It was a serious incident, Stephen. So I welcome Stephen Rowe to the Friday show. I know I do.
You make light of it. He was wearing an opal mouth guard, so I'm sure he was fine.
It was a pearl mouth guard.
Pearl.
Well,
same.
Well,
well, they are, aren't they?
Slightly different gems, yeah. Opals and pearls, slightly different.
Opal. Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. Opal, you'll find at Cooper Beach.
Now, I got
pearl,
that wrong.
In the ocean.
I got that one wrong. Got another one. I didn't get the should I stay or should I go. What was that?
Yeah, that's what round 0 is asking.
Should I stay or should I go?
So, should we keep it or get rid of it?
I gotcha. Sorry, slow to the dance.
Yeah. So everybody else out there.
I get you. Well, it's got to go.
It's got to go.
If you ask me, it's got to go.
Yeah, and I am asking you.
Well, it's got to go.
It's got to go.
It's got to go.
See you later.
And again, we start and we have all week our thoughts with Queenslanders and northern New South Welshmen. That's going to dump a hell of a lot of
rain.
It will.
And a lot of wind and damage, you name it. Hopefully nobody gets hurt.
We all know, correct, we all know we all know they've done the right thing.
Yes,
they
absolutely.
called it off.
They made the right
and
call.
I've had mates go, well, they could have played at the Gab. It was beautiful. But that's not the point.
Well, did you hear that was, I think as of last night, there was about 5 NRL players saying they don't want to go now?
Yeah, Dolphins players have pulled out of their game tonight as well. They don't want to travel.
So that's unfair on the Dolphins if they go and put a second-string side together just because of that.
But it's unfair to compromise your employees. That is unfair to say to you, Timmy, and Lockie Neal mentioned it perfectly from Brisbane. He said, well, I wouldn't go. I've got a wife, an 8-month-old child and a dog.
Yeah. No,
that are in the firing line.
So
anyway, they made the right call.
Thing.
It's going to happen. We wish them well. When's it crossing land? Tomorrow?
Saturday morning.
Saturday morning. Yeah.
So,
God, it's slow, isn't it?
Yeah,
so it was meant to be Wednesday, then it was Thursday, then it was Thursday midnight, then it was Friday morning, then it was Friday night, Saturday.
Because of that pace, though, we had a text from Con yesterday, I think, saying it'll gather up more water, more moisture, and that means it'll dump it once it gets to the land, so that leaves even more flooding risk. So.
But get rid of it.
Let's hope they go all right. We'll have an update on that later on. Channel 7's Amanda Abate will be coming on and give us she's the chief Gold Coast correspondent for 7 News, so she'll give us an update there. Your long weekend, Rowey, what's it full of?
Well, I'll work tomorrow.
Good.
And then Jodie's got a like a dosho, whatever you call it, on the Saturday night. So then I'll dribble off Sunday morning, off to Port Clinton.
Yes.
And I'm going to raid the top of the Gulf with a couple of mates.
Good work. Get some whiting.
And I'll be back probably late Monday night.
Beautiful.
You're going to go after whiting.
Right in time for the Ned McHenry Fishing Show on Tuesday to give us a full report.
Yes, I will.
Good timing. Hey, can you give us an update on the Saka Men v Victoria?
Can I please do that?
Yes,
because we are 9 for 281.
Wow.
We trail Victoria by 4 runs.
That's good.
Top scorer was our skipper, Nathan McSweeney, on 60. I've got to tell you, Harry Nielsen and Ben Manenti were looking very, very good. And then Scotty Boland comes into the crease. And Scotty Boland does what Scotty Boland does. He puts it on a Thrupney bit and he knocked out the bloody middle peg. So we trail by 4 runs. We just got to halve the points here, and it all but ensures a home final. I know we've got work to do, Sam. You'll give us the machinations. But if we can draw this or win, put it to bed.
Beautiful.
And let's play it at Adelaide Oval.
Well,
Boom.
The 0 round will commence tonight, Sydney v Hawthorn. And here's the 2 coaches, Sam Mitchell on the unknown, and on debut, Dean Cox. He's ready to go.
Being a part of opening round is obviously a privilege in itself, and now it being the first game of the season adds a little bit more. So the first round of any season is a great unknown. You do all this preparation with very little true feedback across the pre-season, and this is the first chance to figure out where you're at.
It's a great opportunity for this football club, and obviously to open the season and play an amazing football team in Hawthorn. What they did last year was phenomenal for a young football team. Yeah, we're under no illusion there. They are a very, very good and dangerous football team. So, yeah, we're ready to go.
There you go. That'll be on 5AA tonight from 6 p.m. So if you're a Sydney or Hawthorn fan or just a footy fan in general, it's all starting tonight. There you go. Good. Now, sporting miracles. We've all seen a few. We've probably witnessed a few. We may have been involved in a few. Who knows? But this one caught my eye. It was our own Riley O'Brien, who produced something very special.
Talk to me, Bert. Talk to me, Bert. I can't see it. I can't see it. Oh! It's in! It's in! Oh my God! Oh! That is unbelievable!
Oh, the greatest goal for alive!
Oh, you got to believe it. Thanks to Harvey Norman Clearance Centre, Marion Road, Marion. We've got our next guest. He's going to be part of our 5AA team. He's our lead rucker, best and fairest. We speak of Riley O'Brien. Rob, welcome.
Thanks, boys. Great to be in here after yesterday.
That is an amazing sight. It's a hole-in-one.
It's a hole-in-one.
It's a hole-in-one. Now, people play golf all their lives,
yes,
and never have a hole-in-one. It must have been an incredible moment.
It was pretty incredible. As you can tell from the audio there, I was carrying on a fair bit. And we had a Crows golf day, so 20 of us playing, 20 players, and I went in as probably the bottom seed, I reckon. I'm not a great golfer. And I've managed on the 12th to hit a hole-in-one, and all the boys heard me carrying on for miles around. So I've rubbed it in on a few boys, Geordie Dawson and Darcy Fogarty, they're the best players of the club.
Like themselves,
and Jordan Dawson hasn't had a hole-in-one, so I've got that over him.
So talk us through it. Elevated hole, par 3. What did you use? How many metres?
Now,
did it go plonk? Did it roll in? Did it wobble?
Yeah,
did it hit a nut and then deviate?
Pretty intimidating hole, Rowey. If you played Mount Compass, the 12th hole's got a big body of water, so you've got to hit over the water. And I've hit it 8-iron, about 135, 140, and it's hit the left side of the green, which is a bit of a hill, and it's rolled down towards the hole, and we've just seen it disappear and vanish.
Wow. Did you think instantly? Maybe?
For a second, I thought there's no way. There's no way, because no one really does it, so I thought there's no way. It must have gone into a little gully or a little ditch, but we ran up there and we had a little look, and it was in the hole, so and I grabbed it and kissed it.
You did. Well, get on our Rowey and Timmy Twitter account. Yeah. The audio is there and the visuals there. Yeah. It is quite funny. I've never seen you move that fast.
I was flying down there.
So who filmed it and who was the other voice?
Yeah, so Lockie Murphy was the one who filmed it. So he bore witness to the miracle. Brodie Smith, Lockie Murphy and Nick Murray were my teammates that day. So they saw the Miracle on Grass unfold at Mount Compass. It was fantastic.
I reckon it's going to be a Netflix special.
Well, it might have to be. It's got a lot of coverage.
Isn't that famous for tiger snakes and all sorts?
Yeah, it is down there. There's a lot of bush and a lot of scrub. So lucky he didn't film my next shot, because my next shot went straight into the bushes and I left it for the snakes.
Yeah, I heard it's pretty bloody scary.
Unforgiving course. It's a very tough course.
Balls there one day. So Timmy's looking at you with real pride.
Oh,
because
yeah.
he's a Thursday hack.
Yes.
Nice.
And he doesn't think the dream will ever happen, a hole in one. Well, Timmy, you're looking at a player. Not many can get to say that.
If it can happen to me, it can happen to absolutely anybody, because I learnt yesterday nothing's impossible. So you can keep going, Timmy, keep striving, and you'll get there one day.
So you hit it sweet.
I hit it beautifully off the tee. It was actually my first good tee shot of the day. You can ask Brodie Smith that. And it was beautiful, and it just rolled its way down, and I thought, hang on a minute.
Now, but let's get that excitement out of the way. Get on to the boring stuff. You did some match sim this morning. Everybody got through okay?
Yeah, all got through really well. No injuries to report. Got through a couple of good quarters of that, and the boys are raring to go. We wish we were playing this week, but we're ready to go next week.
Good luck, you got the weekend off?
Weekend off now to freshen up, and then we'll roll into a full week of training next week. Get ready to go against the Sainers on the Sunday.
Okay, well, what will really impress us if tomorrow or Sunday you go back to Mount Compass, get on the 12,
never again,
and do it again.
I've got the time too. I reckon I've retired from golf, Rowey, so I might hang up the boots.
Thank you. Good night.
It's bloody good to have you on board. Thanks to Harvey Norman Clearance Centre, Marion Road. They'll bring us Riley O'Brien each and every week.
What a beauty. Thanks, boys.
Awesome to have him in. So it's 16 after 4. We're asking you for a Rusden Blackguts tonight. Have you ever been a part of or witnessed a sporting miracle? 8223 0000. It is our first Footy Friday for Rusden Wine, so get calling for that Blackguts. 8223 0000. We have Port Adelaide's Chris Davies shortly. They have their final knockout as we see them at Alberton Oval warming up for the big season starting next week. Umpiring boss Steve McBurney to join us. We'll cross the SCG and build up to tonight's season opener, and we'll talk to Adelaide United's Ethan Alagich. Big game tomorrow against Brisbane, and Terry McAuliffe as well with his tips for the weekend. 17 after 4, your call straight after this. Tell us your sporting miracles.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
City Discount Tires.
Get saving this month at City Discount Tires. Grab 3 Falcon Zeek ZE 310R passenger car tires and get the 4th tyre absolutely free. Experience top-notch performance with exceptional grip on both wet and dry surfaces. Steer your way to citydiscounttires.com.au for even more great deals. City Discount Tires. We're driven by value.
City Discount Tires.
Hi, I'm Lynn Andrews. The Lynn Andrews team have seen a lot of change in real estate over the past 50 years, but one thing remains unchanged: our passion to help people invest in their future, to build strong property portfolios in either the residential or the commercial sectors. Our commitment to property investment over the years means we have a wealth of knowledge to share. We're here to help you. Visit lynnandrews.com.au.
In the market for a new MG? Speak to Ben at Adelaide Hills MG in Bridgewater first. Ben and his team simply won't be beaten on price and service. At Adelaide Hills MG, we make it easy to purchase your new MG, with great finance deals and cars in stock ready to go. Remember, don't sign anything until you've put Adelaide Hills MG to the test. Get good old country service at amazing city prices. That's the Adelaide Hills MG difference.
One of the best things about South Australia is there's so much of it. Fortunately, getting from one side to the other is easy with Stateliner. Their fleet of modern, comfortable buses connect the city to the Eyre Peninsula and Mid-North, Riverland and Southeast, with many towns in between. Stateliner buses are equipped with toilets, air conditioning, they're wheelchair accessible, and you can even charge your phone. With 50% off for pensioners, seniors, children and full-time SA students, let Stateliner do the driving for you. Book today.
Want to stay living at home as independently as possible? That can come with risks, like falling, especially if you're by yourself. A Vital Call personal alarm can bring peace of mind that Rapid Response is always there for urgent help, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Before anything happens, get a Vital Call personal alarm. You might even be eligible for a free one. Call 1300 Vital Call now.
Hello, is this the gas shop?
Certainly is.
And you sell air conditioning?
Absolutely. All the top brands. And we'll install for you as well.
Oh, there's just one more thing. Can you do that voice I've heard on your radio commercial?
You mean...
This voice
Oh.
at the gas shop will keep you cool all summer long. The Gas Shop, 161 Unley Road, opposite Target. Cool.
Is it getting hot in here or is it just me?
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
Talk to me, Bert. Talk to me, Bert. I can't see it. I can't see it. Oh my God. That is unbelievable.
The greatest goal for alive.
That's Riley O'Brien yesterday, hitting a hole-in-one at Mount Compass. So we're asking you, when have you ever been a part of or witnessed a sporting miracle? 82230000. Of course, get involved. We have a Rusden Blackgut Shiraz up for grabs for our best caller. For Rossdale Homes, SA's most trusted custom design, fixed pricing, total peace of mind, because trust is a must. Let's check your roads.
Afternoon, Adelaide Gardens, 2 truck collision on the freeway near the arrested bed before the tunnels delays inbound. In the Parklands, Wakefield Road is closed till Sunday night for the Adelaide Motorsport Festival. Also got delays around the east end for the Fringe with roadworks. Lots of people through there. Take it easy. And look out for speeds at 40 at Highgate for works on Cross Road near Hampstead Avenue. Cameras this afternoon, Anzac Highway, Ashford and Airport Road at Brooklyn Park. This weekend at Harvey Norman, 40% off Samsung 8K TVs, up to 20% off Acer and Lenovo laptops, plus huge bedding floor stock clearance on now at Harvey Norman. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Yeah, well, on the back of Riley O'Brien's hole-in-one at Mount Compass, and you can tell the excitement that was just rolling there. What was your sporting miracle that you either witnessed or you performed yourself, or maybe it was a minor miracle? I've only got a minor miracle.
Give it to us.
Well, I was playing Glanville Par 3. Now, a lot of people will be familiar with that.
You love the public courses.
I do indeed. And
You're a salt-of-the-earth golfer.
And I dead set was playing with my mate, and we'd played it for years. And we're on the 8th hole now. It would be barely 60 metres, if that, right? So it's a chip and a putt. You know, you should always get a 2 on that one. Anyway, I sort of lined it up, and my mate's not concentrating. He's looking at the hole behind us, you know. And I've chipped it, and I thought, oh, beauty, that's going to hit the green for a change. That's nice. Anyway, it hit the top of the green, and that particular one rolls down back towards you. And it came rolling, and I thought, hey, this is a bit close. And I whacked my mate in the back of the head and said, quick, look. He turned around to watch it drop into the cup. Hole in one. And he was filthy. He said, I wish I hadn't turned around. I didn't want to see that. But it's the only one we've ever got after playing. We would have been playing there since we were 18.
Yeah, that is a minor miracle.
That's a minor miracle
compared
to Riley O'Brien.
When have you had a sporting miracle or witnessed one? Now, fishing's a sport. Last weekend I fished off a Saunders bank. I told you about that.
Yes.
Landed 6, getting home safely in 3 metre seas, full as a gook. That was a minor miracle.
That is a minor
with
miracle.
Christian in the back.
Yeah. Saw some footage. Wasn't great.
My brother Simon, this is a unique homestyle food tips. My brother Simon has hit 3 hole-in-ones at Valley View, the prick. He'll be listening, so give him a shout out. That's Andrew from Para Hills.
How can you hit 3?
I don't reckon pros have hit 3.
That's extraordinary.
Is Valley View like a proper...
Yeah, that's a good course.
Golf course.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hey, here's a question before we go to Dave, because I've got a feeling he rang last week. He might have got one as well.
No, he messaged. He wasn't in any condition to speak.
No, he was 18 in. Not 18 holes, 18 in. Would it be safe to say every pro that's played at Masters or a PGA that's got to that standard has got a hole-in-one?
No, it is not.
No.
It is so difficult
Really?
in life. It is a unbelievable...
So would have Tiger Woods got a hole-in-one?
Potentially, I don't know.
Okay.
I haven't heard about it.
Greg Norman?
Again, potentially haven't heard
about it.
Because
the reason is Kim Jong-un, who's the chairman of North Korea, has got 18.
Yeah, he's
in one round.
He's quite the golfer.
No, Timmy, in one round. In a round.
There's a Simpsons episode where Monty Burns, who owns the nuclear factory, he gets 18 as well. Smithers is throwing him in.
Kim Jong-un, who looks like an absolute peanut, has got 18 hole-in-ones.
I've just Googled because you asked how many has Tiger Woods hit. Yeah. This is extraordinary. He has hit 20 hole-in-ones in his lifetime.
See, I'd think that would be correct.
His first was at 6 years of age.
Oh, wow.
So that's why he's the best.
Yeah.
Okay. That's amazing.
That's incredible. Got a unique homestyle food text saying, good shot, Rob. You big hooah.
Yes. Hello, Dave.
Yeah, g'day, fellas. Tiger hasn't got one at Royal Glanville, though, Tim, so they don't count. And, yes, the 7th at Royal Adelaide last Friday, I think it's about 585 metres. No, it's 140 on par 3.
Yep.
Yeah, little par 3, a little bit uphill, a little into the breeze. Absolutely nailed a 4-iron, hit it beautiful. Trickled up and went in, and yes, I celebrated. Well, I haven't finished celebrating, if I'm honest. I'm going to dine out on this for weeks yet. So,
well done.
Was that a golf day, Dave? Was that a golf day?
Yeah, it was a corporate day. So playing best ball, and the bloke before me, who was our best player in the group, absolutely topped it just in front of the ladies' tee.
Oh,
so the pressure was on, and delivered. The first one I've ever had. I don't think I'll ever have another one.
Yeah, unreal, mate. Well done. And Royal Adelaide too, just tops my Glanville.
That would be a lot of text shooting through. Valley View doesn't count. It's a par 3
It is a par 3. It's like mine. It's like Glanville. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I thought it might have been.
Here's one. A Pommy golfer named Whitnell got 2 hole-in-ones in the same round last week in South Africa Open. His name was Hansie Cronje.
You've fallen for that, and you've read it out.
Hello, Dave. That was our friend Maria, who's a boy.
Yeah.
Hello, Maria. Hello, Dave.
G'day, boys. How are you?
Excellent. What sporting miracle you got for us, Dave?
Okay. Royal Sandy Creek Golf Club.
Yes.
Right? About a week prior, I went and ordered some golf balls online, some Pro Vs, because they had them on special. When they arrived, the missus goes, "What are you doing buying golf balls? You've got a garage full of them." And I went, No. These aren't just any golf balls. Took the first one out on the Saturday morning, got up on the second hole, 135 or 137 metre par 3, 7-iron, straight over the flag, a metre behind, sucked it back in, dropped it, picked it up, took it home and said to the missus, "What did I tell you? Not just any golf ball."
Dave, you're in the running for that Rusden Black Guts. That's a good call.
Keep your sporting miracles coming in. 8223 0000 for that Rusden Black Guts charades. We're going to stop down for the 4:30 headlines. Chris Davies, the GM of Port Adelaide's footy department, will join us next.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
We have a genuine Australian hero on the line.
Will Goodings.
Barry Clark was the man sitting in 1A yesterday on a plane in Avalon when someone tried to get on board with a shotgun and knives.
David Penberthy.
So Barry, walk us through what happened.
It was all over in a matter of seconds, and then I just had to hold him down.
Adelaide's leading breakfast show.
Everyone on the plane was great. I think everyone was just bewildered what went on.
5AA Breakfast.
You're a stand-up bloke, Barry. Yeah. Thank you for taking the time to talk to us here in South Australia.
Weekdays from 6 a.m. on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Go Harvey Norman for hot deals store-wide. Save a super 40% off Samsung 8K TVs. That's right, 40% off Samsung 8K TVs in store and online while stocks last. Save on big brand computers with up to 20% off Acer and Lenovo laptops, desktops and all-in-ones. And save on Australian-made bedding with big brand mattress floor stock price to clear. Plus, get bonus standard local delivery on selected mattresses over $999. Go Harvey Norman. Best brands, best range, best prices guaranteed. Conditions and exclusions apply.
OTR coffee combos are now in store, making your life easy at $6 for a quality barista-made regular coffee and a Krispy Kreme original glazed donut. Just how you like it. Only at OTR. Making life easy. T's and C's apply.
A Pearl mouthguard. It's guaranteed to keep your grandkids' teeth in their mouth, not on the oval, the court or the pitch after they've had some sort of accident on the court or pitch or you name it. So make sure they stay in there, the little pearly whites.
Not an opal, a pearl.
A pearl, exactly.
Pearly whites. So if you're stuck for a gift idea, God, I like this, I really do. That's going to make a difference in their lives. Organise for your grandkids to get a pearl mouthguard, which are only available from your dentist to ensure the correct fit and comfort.
That's right. The difference between a pearl mouthguard and a mouthguard you'd buy at the chemist, well, could mean literally thousands of dollars because, to get their teeth replaced or to, make sure the dentist is right and, they're all hanging out, let alone the pain that they go through. So get the good mouthguard and make sure you get the pearl mouthguard.
Well, and not to forget the pain and the fact that you don't have teeth, and then when you talk, you have a lisp.
Now you are,
and you look like a stupid little
you're a living example of
that. Well, those
aren't
four
you?
there are foxies.
Yeah, and that's because you wouldn't wear a pearl mouthguard.
Correct. I had to sell my house to fit them in.
Yeah, it's unreal.
But if you've got a pearl mouthguard,
No
there
problems.
is no problem.
You look like me.
And you get and you get $2,000 dental guarantee with every
nice.
Pearl mouthguard fitted. That is superb.
Brilliant. So don't risk it. Play it safe. Ask a dentist about a Pearl mouthguard. Search Pearl Dental SA for more.
Steinborner Hyundai has always been well worth a trip, and now there's another great reason to visit. Hyundai's full range of hybrids. Steinborner Hyundai has a hybrid to suit every driver, from the hybrid i30, the Kona, the Tucson, as well as the all-new Santa Fe hybrid family-sized SUV. Experience the difference at Steinborner Barossa and Clare, with outstanding service and a great range of vehicles. And you'll see why. Steinborner Hyundai is well worth the trip. Steinborner.com.au.
Drive into the Tasmanian wilderness, wildlife, wine and coastal wonders with a 12-night self-drive holiday with Tasmanian Vacations and Phil Hoffman Travel. Stay in cabins across Hobart, Strawn, Cradle Mountain, Launceston, Swansea and Port Arthur. Includes car hire, entry to Port Arthur and Devils at Cradle, a National Parks Pass and more from $1,675 per person twin share. Book now and receive free petrol. Visit pht.com.au.
This is 5AA News, always Adelaide.
Good afternoon, I'm Kendall Brettig. A man's been released from custody after his brother's death at Seaton yesterday following a fight. A woman's been bitten by a shark while paddleboarding in Sydney's south. She's been taken to hospital with serious leg injuries. Southeast Queensland and northern New South Wales are preparing for major flooding as heavy rains continue ahead of Cyclone Alfred. And Nick Kyrgios's career is again in doubt. He's pulled out of the first round match at the Indian Wells tournament with wrist pain. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Adelaide Gardens, a two-truck crash on the freeway near the arrested bit before the tunnels. Delays inbound. Hunterfield Heights got a smash on the Southern Expressway, getting cleared up at the moment. It's near Beach Road, but still got some delays outbound. While on the Parklands, Wakefield Road is closed till Sunday night for the Adelaide Motorsport Festival. And the Fringe is on this afternoon and tonight, so look out for delays and lots of folk around the east end of the city. Camera 2 for the drive home, Burbridge Road at West Beach. Score a deal at BWS. Get a case of Carlton Dry bottles or cans on Appy deals for $50. Non-app price $59. Hurry, offer ends Sunday. T's and C's apply. Choose to drink wise. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Sunny today and tomorrow, heading for 36. At the moment, 35. More news at 5 o'clock on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
28-5. We have the AFL's umpiring boss and Steve McBurney joining us at 5 o'clock, so you can get your questions in if you've got any on the unique homestyle food text line. We'll cross to the SCG and up to Queensland with some live updates with the footy beginning tonight and Cyclone Alfred causing havoc expected tomorrow. And we're talking your sporting miracles for a bottle of Rusden Blackgut Shiraz, 8223 0000. The lines are open. And a quick update from the Sheffield Shield. South Australia bowled out just 2 runs shy of Victoria's first innings. At the innings change, 283 all out. Victoria back in the back.
Good comeback, that. Well done. Port Adelaide have got, a bit of an internal trial. 5 o'clock they'll train. They want everybody to come down, all the members. Bring your kids. There's plenty of activities happening for them. And at 5:45 they'll play 3 periods of like an internal match sim. So that's all happening there. But to get a pre-season review and a season preview, we're going to go to the GM of football at Port Adelaide, Chris Davies. G'day, CD. How are you, mate?
Tim, how are you?
Excellent,
Stephen?
my friend. Excellent.
CD.
Beautiful. Hey, I'll wash up from another trade and draft period. How do you think we fared?
Well, look, what I am sure of, Tim, is that we've set the list up to be better in the future with the young guys that we're able to bring in the Houston trade. I certainly think that that we've got the team again that is well and truly going to be more than competitive in 2025. But as I say, when you start to look at Joe Berry, Jack Whitlock, Christian Moraes, Tom Cochrane as young players coming into the group, there's no doubt that we've done a bit of a reboot again for the future.
And the list depth, it's so vital. We were talking to Brian Taylor last night, and he actually said, he goes through each list before the season begins, and he said, he was really confident that Brisbane could do well, even though they had a slow period, because he thinks they really do bat down strong to 31 on the list. But our list depth, and you've just mentioned a few there as to why, do you think it's improved year on year?
Look, I think that, as maybe BT mentioned, we certainly look to try and have 30-plus players that we believe are AFL-ready players when you go into any season. I'm very comfortable that we've got the depth. Obviously, it's not ideal when you lose Zerk Thatcher and Ratagalia, as two key backs within a week of each other. But at the same time, Jeremy Finlayson, we've got Jacob Moss there. So I think we've got enough depth to be more than competitive again in 2025.
One of the lads that got out it late on the SSP was Josh Lai. Had a look at his highlights. An exciting talent there. Certainly some good midfield depth there for that young lad. So that was exciting. I was just wondering whether Jez McLennan was considered for that position as well.
Well, yeah, he was. Jez has come to us this year in the SNFL program. We've also had a guy by the name of Jack Watkins who's been training with us over the off-season, who's also going to stay and be part of our SNFL program that we've been looking at. He was North Melbourne's captain in the VFL last year. We had Kyle Marshall training with us this year, and we had a couple of father sons, Louis Montgomery and Rome Burgoyne, who were both training as well. And Josh Lay was the one at the end of the day who got the nod. We believe that he is more of a wingman type, half-back, a guy who we probably don't have massive depth in one area, and that is the wing position. So to bring him into the club, we thought was the right thing to do. Having said that, it wasn't too long after we committed there that we had, I think, Asava go down. So, you're always trying to do what you can at whatever time it is, and at that point we thought that Josh was the right one. We'll have to consider our options probably going into the mid-season aspect where, we're hopeful that Todd Marshall can get back up and running, and we think that that'll be the case. But, if his rehab didn't go well, then, you might consider putting him on the long-term injury list. That's not anything we're contemplating right now, but I'm sure there'll be someone else who's injured at the halfway point where we can think about who we need to bring on.
CD, what are you most confident about in your program this year?
Oh, look, I'm confident in our players, Stephen. I'm certainly confident that that we've got a group who are as committed as ever and are going to give it a real crack again in 2025. From that perspective, having that young group of players who we believe are going to take us forward, it's a good position to be in, where we're not reliant on the older players who we've taken a few of them out of our list over the last few years. I'm most confident in the fact that we've got a young group that's going to take us forward into the future.
We spoke to Joshy Carr at the start of the week about your game style tweaks. We drilled down a bit more with it. I'm not going to do that with you, CD, but it sounds like you're going to be a bit more of a run and gun link up with handball type of team. I'm not going to call it chaos ball forward to centre, but I like it when you do that, because you've got good kickers behind the ball, fantastic midfielders, and some real talent and speed in that front six. Are you expecting some highs and lows with that until you ingrain that or master that tweak? Because it's a fair shift, CD.
Yeah, it is, Stephen, and I agree with you 100% there. I mean, what you've seen over the last 2 weeks, the Crows were far better than us in that trial game that we played up at Mount Barker. We were far better than St Kilda last week, and you probably saw the ups and downs over those 2 games of the way that we want to move the ball. The guys are committed to doing it a different way this year, and we needed to. Let's face it, if we had the same sort of ball movement as we did last year without the likes of Charlie Dixon up there, it's going to be a challenge for us. But we do believe that we've been able to change that, let's say, front 6 or 7 to be a different commodity in 2025, and I'm certainly hopeful that group of guys have the ability to get it done, because at its best throughout pre-season it's looked really damaging, but we know that the whips start cracking next week, and we're going to have to be good enough when the games start.
Yeah, it's real risk-free reward. It's going to be a real watch for me, connecting the right sort of game style with that tweak, with the talent that you got. And God, I reckon if I was there, I'd do the same thing. What my concern, and it's only a small sample size, it was 450 plus possessions, 340 plus were uncontested, 140 odd marks, and you went at 34 possessions per goal. That doesn't stand up against quality pressure football and finals, does it?
Well, I think that what you're looking at there is a group who have been very close over the last 4 or 5 years, but haven't been able to get it done at the end of the year. And we've got a squad this year which has a different demographic, different abilities, and what we're going to do is try and maximise that group of players. Now, as you said previously, we've certainly got the players around the ball who can both kick it and use their hands around it. Now, our challenge this year will absolutely be, Stephen, to connect that midfield group to our forwards. And what I have seen is that movement is going to be good for us. If we're slowed down, the reality is we may well struggle. But I think that the coaches are putting together something with the players, which is or at least going to have a massive crack at making this work.
Yeah, it's exciting. I like it.
Yes.
Risk fee reward, Timmy.
I did say that anything happening, didn't I? I said the most exciting thing for me is going to be what happens inside 50. So here we go. Hey, we spoke to Josh Carr, as Rowey mentioned, just about that succession plan. He said, look, just business as usual. There's no plan, no discussions. We're just playing our existing roles as we are. From your position, being the GM of footy, is that the same, or do you do things a little differently?
No, look, I'll have to do things differently. Clearly, over time, I've worked with Ken on the people that he's wanted within the program from a staffing perspective, and also the types of players that he's wanted us to bring in. So that will be an absolute change this year, where we start to think about what 2026 needs to look like, and that obviously comes earlier and earlier, based on my experience in the game. So that will be two things that Josh will have to get his mind into not long after the season starts. I'll certainly work with Josh as to the things that I'm seeing from him that he needs to polish up on when he becomes the senior coach. And I'm sure that as again I talk about the players that we're trying to bring in. Well, Josh has been part of that conversation in the last year. When we were able to get Jack Lukosius to the club, Josh and I had met with him, as had Ken earlier on. So there'll be aspects of that Josh will have to take a lead in during this year. But what we have tried to do, Tim, is to keep it standard to this point. Once the season gets going, then we've got a little bit more time to start thinking about 2026. But to this point, we've been absolutely clear on what both Ken's and Josh's roles are, and to this point they haven't changed, as Curry mentioned.
We had the AFLPA CEO, Paul Marsh, come in and had a good chat to him. He said he was meeting with the club's players first and administrators afterwards and the like. How did your meeting go with him, and what was your number one agenda item?
Look, my meeting with Paul and the other crew from the Players Association went really well. I'm lucky enough to have a long-standing relationship with Paul. We worked together when we were both still in cricket. Yeah. Well, I played with his brother, but Paul wasn't. Paul was. He would be fine with me saying this. He was a bit of a battler, so maybe he didn't
so he's
quite hit some of the levels.
He was a good golfer, I think.
He was a very good golfer. That's what I should say. Sorry, Stephen, you're right. I should say he was a good golfer. He was a good golfer. Thankfully, because he didn't have much cricket ability. No, I shouldn't.
You met two goes now.
Yeah, no, I reversed over him, didn't I? Yeah. Look, typically when the PA come in, they give you a sense of the messages that the players are giving them. So, they'll ask a whole heap of questions about what the environment is like, which they are willing to give us feedback on, which is always good information to get. Not that we don't do some of that ourselves, but the other points of discussion, the illicit drugs policy is, they're happy to give us a bit of an update on where all of that is at. And there's been some new things that the AFL have mandated this year. We've now got a psychologist within the program. Now that's something that the AFL have said that they want at each club this year. So talking about how that will work into the future. But those meetings with the PA are generally very fruitful, and I'm pleased to have the relationship I do with those guys, where they're able to share what's going on in their world.
Your club's been real leaders in that illicit drug policy. You're not scared to speak out, CD, and I like that. And one of the things I hear is you'd rather more people in the club know if someone's gone a little bit, let's call it off the rails. We had Paul sit next to us and asked him exactly that. More people need to know if it's about a welfare, about looking after the kid. Well, I'm a parent. I want to know. If the CEO he'd want to know, and you're the footy manager, and it's not just the doctor. That doesn't look like that's going to change, CD.
No, I think that's reasonable to suggest that's always going to be the Players Association's position in most sports. So that's typically something that we ask the question about. But ultimately, whilst we've got the Players Association saying that they're only committed to this policy if it is a welfare policy, it's going to be hard to change that. And I'm sure that's a conversation that the AFL have with the Players Association regularly. From my perspective, I'm most interested in the players getting the right support if they put themselves in that situation. And so I don't feel like I desperately need to know. I think that there would be things that I could do my job better if I did know. But the key for me is making sure that the right people know in order to provide the right support to the player. And I would argue, and I certainly have with Paul from time to time, that I think there are individual roles within the club that should be aware of this. Now, he has a differing opinion, and I accept that the Players Association, in many respects here, hold the whip hand. But I do think that as long as the model is a supportive one, that's first and foremostly the thing that we need to be able to get. Now, if you start mentioning about whether parents should know, I think you're going to start getting into a situation where, of course, we would want to know. I'm a father myself. Of course, I would want to know. It's just getting that balance right of, this is at the end of the day, it's an employee who is seen as an adult. How much of that information should be going to other people? So I'm not arguing either way. I'm certainly agreeing in the sense that this has got to be a welfare type model, but we're also dealing with a different demographic of people now, Stephen, where you and I played our sport and did things after the game which were probably based around alcohol. The reality is this is a totally new generation of people who are being brought up on using their social time differently, and I'm always mindful of that as well.
Yeah. One last one from me, the new tweaking of the concussion rule of a doctor, of a club, being able to go out and stop down the game. You support that in its principle, or is that going to create more problems?
No, look, I'm supportive of it. It seemed incongruous to me that we could have a situation where the game stops for a person with a slight cut on their knee with a little bit of blood and can't stop the game, where a player is clearly concussed, identified by the doctor, identified by the doctors who watch the game in the AFL's ARC. It doesn't make any sense to me that you couldn't stop the game for that, but you could stop it for a minor cut. So I think it's principally, I think that's a good step.
CD, you've had a big summer. Good luck for a big winter, mate. All the best with it.
Have a great year.
Thanks, guys. Good to speak to you both.
Excellent.
Thanks.
Chris Davies, Port Adelaide, GM of football, our guest, and that's most of just about everything we did there. And apologies to Paul Marsh on his cricketing ability.
Well, it wasn't us.
A couple there, didn't he?
No, on behalf of CD.
And CD put it in reverse.
He did.
Beep, beep.
That was
well done. All right, it's 11 minutes to 5. Very shortly, Amanda Abate from Channel 7 live on the Gold Coast is going to join us as the people of Queensland brace for impact with Cyclone Alfred. We'll find out what is happening around that, and we'll get your calls in the air as well. We're talking sporting miracles. When have you ever partaken in or witnessed a a sporting miracle. Our best caller tonight wins a Rusden Black Gut Shiraz. So get on the phone, 8223 0000.
Hollywood Gardens, a two-truck collision on the freeway near the arrest a bit before the tunnels delays inbound. Hunfield Heights, a smash on the Southern Expressway near Beach Road, solid delays outbound. And in the Parklands, Wakefield Road is closed till Sunday night for the Adelaide Motorsport Festival. Fringe is ramping up as we speak, so look out for road detours and lots of folk around the east end of the city tonight. And go to Canberra Burbridge Road, West Beach. For a limited time only, at Freedom, get 30% off all outdoor furniture and homewares. Don't miss out. Head in store or online now. Sale ends Monday, only at Freedom. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Hi, Brett Ebbett here for Mawson Lakes Mazda. We've been doing deals on a huge range of 2024 plate Mazdas, and we've just received truckloads more of them, all priced to clear. These drive-away deals on new Mazdas include free 12 months rego, free stamp duty, and accessory packs worth $500. Yep, absolutely free. All exclusive to Mawson Lakes Mazda. No gimmicks, just great deals. Mawson Lakes Mazda, Salisbury Highway, T's and C's apply.
Tickets for the Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery are over 80% sold. It's not too late. You could win the life-changing $3.5 million Scott Salisbury Grand Prize in Somerton Park. Fully furnished with $500,000. You could be living the dream mortgage-free. HomeLottery.com.au. Life-changing prizes. Life-changing impact. HomeLottery.com.au. Licence M14673.
Now, after 34 years, Operation Flinders Foundation has their very own metro location in Richmond. How good's this? Stacey Lee was out there today.
This is a terrific local charity. Love it. The new space will allow Operation Flinders to expand their impact, strengthen programs, continue supporting young people on their journey to a brighter future, but they can't do it without your continued support.
Yes, so buy a virtual boot this March for Operation Flinders, with 100% of the funds going toward creating a dream future for the foundation. Now, small boots contribute $150, medium boots are $300, and large boots contribute a generous $500 to the cause. Now, your generous contribution will be displayed as a permanent record in their new home.
These are young South Aussies getting a chance in life. I love this charity. The boots may be virtual, but the impact, I swear, it's real. Show your generous support today by searching operationflinders.org.
They live in filth, bins and excrement. They carry disease and they want to suck your blood. Flies and mosquitoes. Oh, that's no way to live. And it doesn't have to be. With Phantom retractable screens, up to 9 metres wide, they can screen almost anything. Protect your family with Phantom retractable screens. phantomscreens.com.au.
At IGA, great value is easy to find, like Streets Magnum ice cream sticks, 4-pack or mini 6-pack, selected varieties, $6 each, half price. IGA, you can't beat local. Offer ends March 11. Participating stores only. Excludes Foodland.
The most frustrating thing about having your car repaired after a collision can be the wait. Sometimes months. At Premier Panel Services, the wait is one thing you won't have to worry about. We've expanded our workshop and our highly skilled team. It means we're better equipped to deliver an outstanding outcome for you and your car. RAA and MTA approved, Premier Panel Services work with most insurance companies. So ask for Premier Panel Services and get back on the road sooner.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
7 minutes to 5. It is our Rusden Wines Footy Friday in the Barossa Valley, home of the Black Gut Shiraz, rusdenwines.com.au. We have the umpiring boss, Steve McBurney, joining us just after 5 o'clock. You got a question for him? Send them through.
Yeah, South Australia all out for 283 in reply now. Victoria none for 16 in the second dig. They lead by 18 runs. Come on, let's get them out. Hey, let's cross to Queensland. Our thoughts have been with them all week. Amanda Abate is 7 News Gold Coast Chief Correspondent. Amanda, welcome. What's the latest?
Oh, good afternoon, guys. Look, the latest is this cyclone has been delayed again. We're now expecting Alfred to make landfall sometime around midday tomorrow now. So it's kind of lulled everyone into a false sense of security. Today, conditions haven't been so bad. It's kind of eased up. The winds haven't been as bad. The rain has been on and off, but not too much. Unfortunately, there is a bit of a feeling that, maybe, it isn't going to be as intense as we first thought, but no, it could actually be the opposite. Of course, it's slowed down, which means it's got more time to absorb all of that moist air and, only drop more rain on us when it does finally arrive, whip up even stronger winds. So we're all kind of in limbo here. We're braced. We've prepared as best we can. Everything is shut down. There's not much more we can do now, but wait.
The biggest fear was king tides if it hit at that time. I don't know what the tides are doing, Amanda, and whether or not we're more concerned about the rain or the wind, but it's obviously the rain and the wind, and that combination is going to be scary.
Yeah, well, look, Queenslanders, we are pretty adept with floods. We're used to floods. That's certainly a huge risk, though, flash flooding, particularly on the Gold Coast, when we're expecting something like 800 millimetres over the next few days. But for us, the cyclone element is very new. We haven't had a cyclone here in, 50 years. Wow. So not in my lifetime. This is a first for a lot of us. We don't know what to expect. I mean, it's a Category 2, so that's destructive winds. I mean, we're all wondering we're going to lose our roofs. We don't know. We don't know how our homes will stack up. They've never been tested in this way before. But look, certainly the flooding is then the big risk. There's something like 6,000 homes on the Gold Coast here in the flood zone, so they've got the potential of some form of flooding. Hopefully, best case scenario could just be, a tiny corner lapping at maybe the front door, but there is a potential that, some or many of those homes may go under.
Lots of South Australians have headed up to the Gold Coast, for holidays and the like, Amanda. Where are the areas, suburb-wise, that are at biggest risk as far as flooding goes?
Yeah, look, it's actually, sprinkled all over the city, to be honest. There's a lot in Surfers Paradise. Up north, Paradise Point. Down south, more the Burleigh Waters area, Elanora. But it's the canals where we've got about 400 kilometres of canals in this city. So obviously it all, when those tidal surges happen, plus the rain, the catchments are already elevated because of the tidal surges, and then, you get dumped with a torrential downpour. The canal estates cop it, low-lying areas as well, particularly around that Elanora pocket. In 2022, they've only just really recovered from those big floods. And then further on the border, the Tweed community, Lismore, Northern Rivers, enormous issues there with flooding. So you can almost guarantee they will see some flooding. It just depends how widespread it's going to be this time around and how severe.
Amanda, stay safe. Your role of delivering that information is so damn important, and certainly for us down south, because we can see the pictures, hear what it's doing, and we can have our thoughts with you. Hey, keep up the great job, Amanda. Thank you.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Amanda Abate there, 7 News Chief Gold Coast correspondent. Scary stuff. The unknown's what I think, and it's been delayed and delayed and delayed and delayed.
Haven't had a cyclone in 50 years.
But the other thing is I'd be sitting there going, there's a little bit of wind and a little bit of rain. I mean,
sometimes that's the old eye of the storm.
Well, that's the middle of it. It hits and then it's the middle. But you think yourself,
you're just waiting.
Right, we're right. And then, you relax a bit, next minute, bang. Our thoughts are with them. Let's hope it doesn't hit as hard as what, I guess is predicted.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, in the opposite state next door, in New South Wales, it's an absolute picture at the SCG. Blue, sunny skies, and it looks pretty prepared for footy tonight. It's only a couple of hours away here on 5AA as Sydney and Hawthorn will collide. Steve McBurney, the AFL's head of umpiring, to join us shortly, and then we'll cross to the SCG as well.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
5AA is your go-to station this A-League season, teaming up with the Adelaide United.
That's right, Rowey. As always, we'll bring you the latest news, interviews and updates across the season as they happen.
Everything thrilling, every goal, every tackle, we've got you covered, so come on, you Reds.
Keep it on 5AA for all your info and get behind the team at Cooper Stadium. Tickets from Ticketek.
5AA, always Adelaide, and proud partners of Adelaide United.
We're interrupting your show. Sorry. Because Binge Basic is now just $4.99 a month for 12 months. That's a bingillion hours of entertainment for less than $5 a month. Offer ends March 31st, so head to binge.com.au/4. New and returning customers only.
Binge. Adelaide's local, trusted and truly connected talkback radio station. 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Whether you're coming into the city for footy, friends or family, or you're headed out into SA, you can let Stateliner do the driving for you. They have a fleet of modern, comfortable buses that connects Adelaide to the Eyre Peninsula, the Mid-North, Riverland and South East, with many towns in between. Stateliner buses are equipped with toilets, air conditioning, they're wheelchair accessible, and you can even charge your phone. With 50% off for pensioners, seniors, children and SA full-time students, let Stateliner do the driving for you. Book today.
When you think of single malt Scotch whisky, you might imagine Scotland's green hills, her fresh babbling brooks, and rows of oak barrels. But you can get the same feeling right here in Adelaide when you walk down the aisles at Powell's. Sam and Jamie from Parafield Airport Liquor Store know every drop on the shelf. They can guide you through Scotland's best whisky labels and the best from around the globe, all under one roof. Parafield Airport Liquor Store. Powell's, next to Roulette's Tavern, Kings Road, Parafield.
The very latest news and information. This is 5AA News, always Adelaide.
Sunny and 36 tomorrow with the 5 o'clock news. I'm Kendall Brettig.
Book your tickets for Live Golf on Singapore's Sentosa Island, March 14 to 16, livegolf.com.
There's been a twist in the case of a 54-year-old man who died at Seaton yesterday following an altercation. His brother was originally arrested and charged with manslaughter, but now that's been withdrawn and the 51-year-old released from custody. A preliminary investigation has found the death was likely from a medical episode. A 43-year-old woman has been arrested for hindering the investigation into a boat crash on the River Murray at Mannum on Australia Day. She's accused of failing to answer questions about the accident, which left a 20-year-old swimmer in hospital with serious injuries. The woman has been bailed to appear in the Murray Bridge Magistrates Court in June. She's already charged with causing harm by dangerous use of a vessel and operating a vessel without due care and while over the blood alcohol limit. A shisha shop at Blair Athol was targeted by an arsonist this morning. Senior Constable Holly Frisbee says fire crews were called to the shop on Barton Street after reports of smoke coming from the back door.
When patrols arrived, they found the fire had self-extinguished. There was no apparent structural damage, but there was significant smoke damage caused to the property. Crime scene investigators and Western District CIB attended the scene. Police believe the fire was deliberately lit and are investigating if it is linked to Operation Eclipse.
While a northern suburbs retail store caught selling illicit tobacco and vapes has been hit with a long-term closure order, the state's first. Thingy Gifts in Salisbury North has been ordered to close for 6 months. In one raid alone, inspectors seized more than 40,000 cigarettes, 1,000 vapes and nearly 4 kilos of loose tobacco. The business had continued trading despite successive raids. Cyclone Alfred is now less than 100 k's off the Gold Coast, whipping up wind gusts of 140 kilometres an hour. It's slowly heading towards the coast and expected to cross over the Moreton Bay Islands on Saturday morning and then cross the mainland. The Bureau of Meteorology's McAuliffe says while not as bad as initially forecast, it will still pack a punch.
We are expecting the system to weaken as it comes across Moreton Bay to a Category 1 system. This will mean destructive winds are unlikely in Brisbane itself, but damaging wind gusts to 120 kilometres per hour are expected, particularly on the bayside suburbs around the southern flank of the system.
And Gold Coast residents are being told to listen to authorities and stay off the beaches. Queensland Premier David Crisafulli has urged the public to use common sense.
Standing on a viewing platform in the middle of an event like this is not something you should be doing, and the fact that resources are having to be diverted there is not a great use of resource and is certainly not something that's conducive to what we want to be seeing.
Witnesses rushed into the water to help a woman bitten by a shark in Sydney's south. She'd been paddleboarding at Bundeena when she reported feeling a sudden strike and excruciating pain in her leg. Ambulance Inspector Andrew Bibby says she was conscious during the rescue.
She was in a lot of pain. We gave her some pain relief, obviously, but she was aware of what was happening. She was talking to us throughout, and a lovely lady, softly spoken lady. Family came to the scene.
And the Australian share market has fallen to its lowest level in about 6 months, with investors spooked by the US approach to tariffs. President Donald Trump has again delayed tariffs on some products coming in from Canada and Mexico. A decision on Australia's steel and aluminium exports will be made next week. Now turning to FIVEAA Sport.
Book your tickets for Live Golf on Singapore's Sentosa Island, March 14 to 16, livegolf.com.
The AFL season kicks off tonight with the Swans hosting Hawthorn. Sydney defender Lewis Melican says they're confident they've got what it takes to beat the Hawks.
We believe that, over the pre-season we've had some young boys really step up and take that next step, so we think we do have that depth.
While Collingwood coach Craig McRae says all their emergencies will travel with the side to Sydney for Sunday's opening round clash against GWS as they prepare to play in very wet conditions after Cyclone Alfred.
We sort of spent probably 20 or 30 minutes of match committee talking about who plays if it is really wet or what's coming. We don't know. The unknown is hard to plan for other than be planned for wet weather. Different forecasts. So, we'd like to think our game style doesn't really matter if it's wet or dry, but some positional changes may.
Injury has forced a frustrated Nick Kyrgios out of another tournament, pulling out mid-match in the opening round of the Indian Wells Open.
I want to play. I want to play, and I had the glimpses of it tonight with the crowds going absolutely ballistic, and I'm playing amazing, and I'm enjoying being out there, and the pain is just it's not great.
Aussies Alia Tomljanovic, Madison Inglis and Maya Joint have all been eliminated from the women's draw. Tomljanovic also retiring injured with a pec injury. And in the Sheffield Shield match in Victoria, South Australia's been rolled for 283 in their first innings, 2 runs shy of Victoria's first innings total. The Vics are now no wicket for 26 in their second innings, leading SA by 28 runs. Now checking FIVEAA traffic.
Adelaide Gardens, 2-truck collision on the freeway near the Rest-of-Bed just before the tunnels. Huntfield Heights, smash on the Southern Expressway near Beach Road. Getting cleaned up at the moment. A few residual delays, however. In the Parklands, Wakefield Road is closed till Sunday night for the Adelaide Motorsport Festival. And the Fringe is up and running again, so look out for delays and lots of folk around the east end of the city. Camera 2 for the drive home, Churchill Road at Prospect. This weekend at Harvey Norman, 40% off Samsung 8K TVs, up to 20% off Acer and Lenovo laptops, plus huge bedding floor stock clearance on now at Harvey Norman. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on FIVEAA.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Clear tonight and sunny tomorrow, heading for 36, 37 for Sunday and then 38 for the holiday Monday. Right now it's 35. Now let's see what's happening on 9 News tonight.
I'm Brenton Raglis. Tonight, shock at Seaton as a man is charged over the death of his brother on a residential street. Vile abuse brings radio host Alit Clark to tears. In 9 News at 6, she details her taxi ordeal as the industry investigates. And Cyclone Alfred, hours away from making landfall. We'll have the latest live from Queensland. 9 News, your news, 9 at 6 on 9 and on 9 Now.
Hi, it's Wayne from Wayne Phillips Isuzu Ute. If you're in the market for a new ute or SUV, then you can't go past the award-winning Isuzu D-Max or MUX. Visit our showroom at Ranella to see our range of new and demonstrator vehicles and take one for a decent test drive. If you already own an Isuzu ute, book it in for a service into our new state-of-the-art service centre at Lonsdale. Mention this ad and you'll get a free car wash with your service. For everything Isuzu ute, think Wayne Phillips Isuzu Ute.
Go Harvey Norman for hot deals store-wide. Save a super 40% off Samsung 8K TVs. That's right, 40% off Samsung 8K TVs in store and online while stocks last. Save on big brand computers with up to 20% off Acer and Lenovo laptops, desktops and all-in-ones. And save on Australian-made bedding with big brand mattress floor stock price to clear. Plus, get bonus standard local delivery on selected mattresses over $9.99. Go Harvey Norman. Best brands, best range, best prices guaranteed. Conditions and exclusions apply.
When your shower gets old, it can start leaking. Even a small leak can lead to big problems. So call MegaSeal to fix your leaking shower or balcony without removing tiles for a lot less than you think. Missing grout or silicone, cracked tiles and stubborn mould are all signs you need MegaSeal. We don't just repair the surface of your tiles. We'll inject a waterproofing repairer underneath without removing them and apply a waterproof grout as well. To organise your obligation-free quote, head to megasealed.com.au.
If you can't stop using your mobile phone illegally, drink or drug driving, driving without a seatbelt, speeding or driving dangerously, South Australia Police will stop you. With more patrols, more road safety cameras and more driver testing, stop breaking the rules before we stop you. Think road safety. A message from the Government of South Australia.
Stay informed, get involved. 5AA, always Adelaide. The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
9 minutes after 5 here on this Footy Friday, thanks to Rusden Wines. Very shortly, the AFL's head of umpiring, Steve McBurney. If you've got any burning questions, send them through on the unique homestyle food text 0448 08 1395. We'll cross to the SCG, the build-up to tonight's season opener. We'll speak to Adelaide United's Ethan Allegich, Terry McAuliffe with some tips, and at 6:30, 5AA Footy takes over for that season opener between the Swans and the Hawks at the SCG. But of course, for that Rusden Blackgut Shiraz tonight, we're taking your calls 8223 0000. Have you ever been a part of or witnessed a sporting miracle?
That's for sure. Got a unique homestyle food text here. Love this one. Circa 2004, Edwardstown D grade. Now, they're in Div 7 reserves in the amateurs. They drive to Elizabeth. They only had 14 players. Elizabeth had a full 18 and a bench. We were therefore, after that, known as the Tenacious Ds, because you guessed it, we somehow won. Best day ever.
Oh,
that's with great. 14 men.
That
is a miracle.
That's a minor sporting miracle. You might have witnessed one or been a part of one. Love to hear them. Hello, Daryl.
How you going, fellas?
Good, buddy.
This is, I don't know whether you call it a miracle, extremely fluky.
Yes.
I was 16, bowling in A grade, Parklands cricket, years ago.
Yeah.
And I bowled back in the days when they had 8 ball overs.
Oh, he ball overs, yes.
Yeah, I bowled 7.2 overs, was 58 deliveries,
Yeah.
and I got 8 for 2.
8 for 2.
Wow. And the first two runs come off the first ball. I bowled, and I reckon it hit the bloke on the side. They went for 2 bites. I never said anything to the umpire.
So you got 8 for none, basically, after that.
Yeah, 8 for none after that in 57. But what I'm saying is a fluke. It didn't like they didn't hit him. I mean, they made a total score of about 37, I think.
Wow.
But they hit him. But when I say fluky, it went to the fielders. You know, it was sort of
Each
like
one.
winning cross lotto. You know, picking out 6 numbers and they just jag him.
Wow.
So it wasn't like they didn't hit him or anything. They did, but they just
Any hat tricks in that?
No.
So they were all caught. 8 of them were caught?
No. I think I got 4 bowled.
Yep.
4 bowled, 3 LBW, and 1 caught and slipped.
God, no, that's not a fluke. I just want to know, did you have cheese in your pocket on that ball or any 80 grit paper?
But I did play, but I tell you something, though. I did play with a bloke who used to put Californian poppy oil in his hair.
What? Yeah.
You ever heard of that?
Yeah.
And he used to rub the ball on his head on the shiny side.
There you go.
And if he's listening,
Sneaky bugger.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, there was a lot of that. When I say that, one bloke had Vaseline on his pants. A lot of that.
Brill cream,
but we
brill
didn't call
cream.
it cheating.
Yeah,
we
come
didn't
on.
call it cheating. We just called it, that was the way it was done.
Yeah.
Creative manoeuvring.
Hey, good story, Daryl. 8
Good on
for
you,
2.
Daryl.
That's going to be hard to beat that.
Nah, good work. Hey, let's go to our next guest. His name is Steve McBurney. He is the head of umpiring and he joins us now. Steve, welcome.
Great to be on.
So it's your second year, you come back. What's wrong with you, Steve?
I can't get away. I love the umpiring environment and great to be involved in the best game in the world.
It is. What were your takeouts or learnings from your first year in the chair?
Look, I'd been away 10 years and just how much scrutiny there is now on umpiring and how much it's changed since I retired and just getting back up to speed on rules interpretations and the patterns of play and the style of the game. But I feel like I've done the apprenticeship now and we're in great shape going into this season and in particular into the 2 games this weekend.
What's the single thing that would help your umpires be better?
I think for the umpires, we just know it's challenging. We've got the biggest ground, the fastest game. It's 360 degrees. I think what's really helped them is going to 4 umpires and having the additional support on the ground, particularly for the field umpires. And if they work together as a team, and back in my day, if you're in control and you missed it, then that just went down as an error. Now we can work much better at having the support umpires pay free kicks and correct mistakes that otherwise would be errors, and we get a better outcome across the group from doing that.
Steve, I was going to ask about the 4 umpires. Is it still a work in progress for you?
Well, we're into year 3. I feel like the first year was really the transition year. The second year we were able to iron out a few things, but really this is consolidation now. We have put 800 games a year into the umpires, so they've now got 1,600 games experience of doing the 4 umpire system, and it was all new to them. They'd never done it previously, so I think that familiarity just means that they're getting much better at the system, they're getting much better at understanding where each other are positioned, and they're getting more trust in each other to blow the whistle at the right time to support one another. So I think this year really is familiarity and consolidation, and there's no reason why the 4 umpire system should have any impediment to better umpiring performances.
I understand you guys are trying to adjudicate rules that are given to you. In the post-season, are you called in to sort of go, let's review it. What worked, what didn't work, what's the umpire's feedback, give that to the AFL, the rules committee and the like, and try and iron out a few things?
Yeah, absolutely. They ask for our feedback every year. And what was really good in September last year was the laws of the game forum we had at the MCG. All clubs invited strong umpiring presence, and we collaborated across clubs, players, umpires and coaches to just discuss the rules. But really, from my point of view and our coach's point of view, the advantage going into this year is we've only got 2 rule changes. They are very minor. It's a bounce after a 666 warning, and the mid-zone non-controlling umpire can pay advantage from a free kick at a centre bounce. You'll barely notice either of those 2 rule changes. So it means the umpires can just pick up where they left off at the end of last season and umpire. Oh, yeah, absolutely. It just gives them a clear head and not having to think in the back of their head, oh, we've got a rule change, we need to do something differently.
Steve, a frustration from fans. Me. Round 1, 2 and 3, the umpires have an interpretation of a rule, and then rounds 3, 4, 5, it just gets thrown out the door. Do you get memos from AFL House? Who drives the interpretations from one week, from one round to the next?
Yeah, so what we want to do is be clear from the start of the year, this is how we're going to umpire. We've put a holding the ball video out to the clubs, and it's being shared with the media. We're putting 3 further modules out, one on high tackles, one on insufficient intent, and one on umpire contact. And they've got clear examples from last year, and we're saying this is how we're going to umpire round 1 through to round 23 and into the finals. And so that's really our benchmark, and we're saying this is how we're interpreting holding the ball, and we're going to stick to it. Occasionally we have to change course, and the clearest example of that last year was the reasonable time in holding the ball, and we have made that adjustment halfway through the year. We informed everyone of it, and by and large that worked really well. And what we did there, we continue on this year. That's how we're going to apply reasonable time in tackling situations to ensure players are not dumped to the ground. We really have to protect player safety, and that was the primary reason for that rule modification.
So that wasn't driven by you, that was clearly driven by AFL House or the GM of football, correct?
Yes, it was, that's right.
Okay. Please finish this sentence, Mr. Steve McBurney, the boss of umpires. 2 or 3 umpires would be far better than 4.
2 or 3 umpires cannot keep pace with the modern game.
Is that fact?
Yes, absolutely. We've got GPS data on them every game. Take tonight's game. You've got Simon Meredith doing his 500th game. Wow. If we'd stuck to 2 umpires, he'd be retired for 15 years. He's 49 years of age. He would have retired at 34. He's doing his 500th tonight. next week, Matt Stevic will do his 500th game. They are the third and fourth field umpire in the history of the game to get to 500. One of the significant advantages of 4 umpires is we've kept our best umpires in the game for longer, and they can pass on their knowledge and expertise to our youngest and up-and-coming umpires.
Yeah, that's invaluable. I get that. But consistency in a game. There'll be a free kick paid down one end. The ball goes way the way down the other end. The same free kick, you think, as a fan, is and should be paid, and it's not. I think 4 people is harder to get a consistency of reading and an interpretation than 2 or 3. Is that a fair statement?
I take your point, but it's really incumbent on us as coaches to coach consistency into our umpires. All our umpires are seeing the same examples week by week, and we need to ensure they're all on the same page, and we need to adjust. If they're being too hot, we need to bring them back. If they're letting it go too much, we need to coach them on that. But we want them all to play the same insufficient intent, the same ruck infringements, the same deliberate rush behind, the same holding the ball. There's going to be a grey area, there always has been in our game, but if we can eliminate the clear errors and get them umpiring consistently, that's what the fans want, that's what the clubs want, that's what the players want, and that's what the game demands.
We're interactive here. We've got a unique home-style food text from Dan saying, do you like the last disposal out of bounds rule that the SANFL have had in their competition for about 7 years now, where last disposal, they pick it up, and I think it's been introduced to the women's game in between the arcs. Do you see that? Do you like it? And do you see it coming into the AFL men's?
Yeah, we've seen it in AFLW, and we really like it in AFLW. Whether it comes into men's, we think where we've set insufficient intent now is the right setting for the men's competition. It's a far stricter interpretation than the old deliberate out-of-bounds rule. And I think it's actually got to the stage when a player kicks the ball to the line, the fans know we're going to pay it even before the whistle goes to the mouth. So I think the settings are good, but we need to continually analyse the data, see what the stoppages look like, see what the throw-in data is telling us. And I actually think it's a good thing that the NFL's done that experiment, and it's there for us to compare what are they seeing in their game and what are we seeing in the AFL.
Yeah, I do a lot of coverage of the SNFL as well as AFL, and I see it moving and stopping a lot of stoppages, so I think it is it's a winner. The other thing they do have is the 25-minute penalty instead of the 50, and I don't like mixing the two because I think it's one or the other, and 25 seems to work and just seems to be not as harsh on some of the minor indiscretions.
Yeah, look, I agree. It has to be one or the other, and we apply the 50, and there's no appetite to change that at AFL level.
Do you train your guys that there's no such thing as the voice of affirmation? In other words, the crowd cheering for that's out of bounds, that's so. That'd be hard.
Crowd
Steve,
influence.
Yeah, crowd influence. How do you coach them to not listen to the voice of affirmation?
I've just got to correct you. We don't train our guys. We train our men and women. And one of the most exciting things for this round is our best female umpire, Leni Glusis, back for round 1 next week. She's had a year off. She's had her baby. She is the best female umpire ever in the game, and we're really looking forward to have her back. But on your question about affirmation of bias, we blow the whistle before we even hear the noise from the crowd. It's an instinctive thing for an umpire, and we really spend a lot of time making sure the umpires have a clear head, maintain their composure, take the contest in, and back themselves to instinctively pay what they know is a free kick without any consideration of what the crowd is saying or doing.
No, well then, my apology, Steve, about Eleni. She's a South Australian. We love her. She actually has been back because she called the showdown at Mount Barker. When was that?
She did.
A couple of weeks ago, and we gave her the biggest resounding
rap,
whatever you call it. Yeah. Hey, one last one, Steve, while we're on that. Should umpires, like coaches, face the media post-match?
We think there is room for transparency. The difficulty we have immediately post-match is we need to understand what the umpire's view was, and we need to get the angles from the arc, the different video angles, to just unpack what was paid, why it was paid, and what the competing umpires' views were. So we will put out clarification of game-defining free kicks as appropriate, but the immediate after the game, if you asked an umpire what they paid in the first quarter, they're barely going to remember the free kick, let alone be able to give you a reliable answer without having unpacked it with their coaches and had a look at the angles. But we're all for educating and being as transparent as possible.
Well, Steve, keep up the good work. I think the 26th of March you were appointed, so not quite a year, but you're nearly there, mate, for your anniversary. All the best with it, mate.
Yeah, no worries, thanks. And was in Adelaide this Wednesday at Westminster with the umpires, and looking forward to coming across and gather round. I'd love to talk to you then.
Oh, fantastic, Steve. We'll take you up on that. Thanks very much, buddy. That's the head of umpiring, Steve McBurney. Just nearly a year in the job.
Yeah, and a special shout out to Simon Meredith. You think about that, 500 games of AFL. He's umpire number 21. One number before my favourite umpire, number 22.
Let's get to your traffic.
Afternoon at Huntfield Heights. Outbound delays from nearly a smash on the Southern Expressway near Beach Road. Chandler's Hill, Carvey, Stobie Pole on Clarendon Road at Potter Road. In the Parklands, Wakefield Road is closed till Sunday night for the Adelaide Motorsport Festival. And the Fringe is cranking up again for another weekend, so look out for delays, detours and lots of folk around the east end of the city. Camera 2, Fisher Street at Malvern for the drive home. Take home a win at Dan Murphy's. Bundaberg Underproof Rum 1.125 litres, $65 for My Dan's members. Ends Sunday. Choose to drink wise. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
Today I'm talking to Glenn, who is one of Arbor Vitae's many happy customers. Hi, Glenn.
Hello, Leaf.
When did you start taking Arbor Vitae and what for?
My mild arthritis had progressively deteriorated. It was reaching the stage of me being virtually crippled. A friend of mine suggested that I try Arbor Vitae, so I gave it a go.
What benefits have you noticed from Arbor Vitae?
After just the first bottle, the pain went from 8 out of 10 down to a manageable 2 or 3 out of 10.
Are you happy to recommend Arbor Vitae, and what would you tell our listeners about this product?
Absolutely. I've told all my friends to give it a go. The secret is to have 2 or 3 bottles till the pain subsides and check dose that you're having the correct amount.
It's wonderful to hear how much of a positive impact it has had on your life. Thanks for your time, Glenn. Remember, for more info, visit arborvitae.com.au, arborvitae.com.au, stocked in chemists and health food stores, and remember, always read the label and follow the directions for use.
Ignition for Men. Adelaide's home of impeccable class and style offer a range of suits by leading Italian brands, including tailor-made wedding packages for the groom and groomsmen. Order 3 tailor-made suits and pay just $799 for each. Order 4 or more for just $749 per suit. Phenomenal value for a quality tailor-made suit. See Ignition for Men for tailor-made wedding packages. 54 Paynham Road, Stepney. ignitionformen.com.au. T's and C's apply.
If you appreciate sporty handling in a compact car that puts the fun back into driving, you'll love the game-changing Corolla at Jarvis Toyota. It features a 1.8-litre fuel-efficient hybrid electric system engine, plus cutting-edge safety advancements. And every new Corolla comes standard with capped price servicing. Exhilarating Corollas are in stock and ready to go. Take a test drive today at the new Jarvis Toyota, Brighton Road, Somerton Park.
Footy or travel? Oh.
Why choose? Have the best of both worlds at Sip and Save. Like a chance to watch footy all over the world when you buy 10 packs of Bundaberg Original UP Rum and Cola for $47.99. Or win an F1 trip of your choice when you spend $30 on any Heineken products. Like a 24-pack of Heineken bottles for $51.99. You can expect more from Sip and Save. More deals, more range, more service. Prices may vary in country areas. Terms and conditions apply.
Sip and Save. There's more in store.
Margie loves it when people comment on her garden.
I love your roses, Margie.
As a keen gardener for many years, it fills her heart with pride and joy.
Just stunning, Margie.
And at Anglicare SA, it warms our hearts to let Margie take all the credit. Anglicare SA's home and community services for seniors can be tailored to anything you need. whether it's personal care, shopping, coordination and clinical services, or gardening. For more, visit anglicaresa.com.au.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
It's game day, 29 after 5.
Here's a text, sums up a lot. I'm getting smashed for being called guys, but I reckon that's a general term in guys. We're all guys. It's an equal opportunity world. Anyway,
Everybody.
I did like this one. Lads, I nearly fell out my car when I just heard the umpire say he blows the whistle before the crowd reacts. LOL. Thank God I've got a seatbelt.
Yes.
You shook your head.
I was like, no way does that happen. No way.
Not buying that.
Can't believe that. Hey, guys, there is a game. Sydney Hawthorn up in Sydney, and we've got Code Sports journalist at the SCG, Lockie McCurdy. G'day, Lockie. How are you, mate?
Yeah, good afternoon, guys. Good to be with you.
Hey, we saw a bit of a photo. We got it up online. Looks like beautiful conditions. Is it like that actually on the ground?
Yeah, it is stunning at the moment. It's pretty clear blue sky, which is fantastic. And I know, given the weather on the east coast at the moment, we weren't sure what to expect, but for the moment, at least hopefully for the next 2 hours, it holds out and it should be pretty much perfect football conditions.
Big game tonight. GWS got a nasty injury list. A couple of key outs in Tom Green and Jesse Hogan, but I saw Jesse working on you actually posted a bit of a career after footy, a bit of boundary umpiring going on with that crook hand.
Yeah, he's getting around still pretty well, and he was almost too eager to be the boundary umpire today. I think he was volunteering for Adam Kingsley, but no, he's fine all bar that thumb at the moment, so he was taking plenty of shots at goal, running pretty strongly, and it's just a bit of pain management at the moment, but I think they still think it's going to be that sort of 2 weeks, and he'll come back after their round 2 bye.
Yeah, we can't wait. Sydney Hawks tonight, 7:10 start, Adelaide time for all of us. It's finally here. It's opening round. It wasn't meant to be the opening game. It is now the Friday night game and all that sort of stuff. It's got a bit of interest in it. Dean Cox's first time in the chair. No Gordon. Have you seen Coxie about? Is he a bit nervous? I mean, this will be a cracking game tonight, Lachlan.
I think it should be fantastic, and I think the fans are going to be treated if this sort of dry weather footy remains, because I think both teams are going to want to play really fast footy, and they've got so many young, talented players up forward that if they can get the ball in their hands, it could be a bit of a goal fest. So I haven't seen Coxie yet tonight. I know during the week he thought there might be a few nerves around, but he's a pretty relaxed guy, and I think if anyone's ready for this, it's him after his sort of 7-8 year apprenticeship under John Longmire.
Yep. Okay, you got to earn your money for Code Sports. Hawthorn by 5, Sydney by 3. What's your tip?
I'm going Sydney by 2 or about 10 points. I just think even though they've got a few guys out at the moment, they've looked really strong this pre-season. Yeah. They've got a point to prove, and I think they'll surprise a few people with how well they start this season.
Great work, Lockie. Thanks for your time.
Too easy. Thanks, guys.
Code Sports journalist. He's live at the SCG. Lockie McCurdy. Beautiful weather, but you go about 1,000 kilometres up, and we've got ourselves a storm tomorrow. And again, we just hope it just, not peters out, but it just doesn't dump what it is meant to dump. Yeah. And all those Queenslanders and what would you call them? Upper New South Welshmen? Mm-hmm. Was that what you call
Northern
it?
New South
Welsh
Wales.
person. I don't want to get jarred again.
For terminology.
God.
There wouldn't be anything new. 5:32. Let's stop down for the headlines.
This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Good afternoon, I'm Kendall Brettig. Residents in Queensland and northern New South Wales are preparing to bunker down as tropical cyclone Alfred approaches. It's expected to make landfall tomorrow. The election of Adelaide City Councillor Jing Lee in 2022 has been ruled illegal by a court in a landmark decision. Former Baywatch star Pamela Bark, who was married to David Hasselhoff, has been found dead in her Hollywood Hills home. And Collingwood's trained with wet bowls in preparation for Sunday's opening round clash against GWS in Sydney. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Afternoon at Huntfield Heights. Outbound delays from an earlier smash on the Southern Expressway near Beach Road. Chandler's Hill, Carvey, Stobie Pole on Clarendon Road at Potter Road. In the Parklands, Wakefield Road is closed till Sunday night for the Adelaide Motorsport Festival. And the Fringe is cranking up again for another weekend, so look out for delays, detours and lots of folk around the east end of the city. Camera 2, Fisher Street at Malvern for the drive home. Take home a win at Dan Murphy's. Bundaberg Underproof Rum 1.125 litres, $65 for My Dan's members. Ends Sunday. Choose to drink wise. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Sunny tomorrow, heading for 36. At the moment, 34. More news at 6 o'clock on 5AA, always Adelaide.
David, it's fair to say the 5AA Breakfast Studio has been somewhat cursed when it comes to Crows and power players departing from their clubs.
Patrick Dangerfield, officially a Geelong player.
Orazio Fantasia will join the Blues.
Eddie Betts is back at Carlton.
Tom Duday now weighing up a big offer from Brisbane.
Collingwood set to secure Dan Houston.
So in 2025, we're changing tack. We've gone with 2 South Aussie lads returning home to Adelaide.
Joining us for the 2025 AFL season will be Jack Lukosius from the Power and Alex Neil-Bullen from the Adelaide Football Club.
Neil-Bullen bending it, he kicked it. Out they come, Lukosius.
Now what could possibly go wrong?
Catch Jack Lukosius and Alex Neil-Bullen for the 2025 AFL season on 5AA Breakfast, always Adelaide. Well, hopefully.
At Mount Barker Mazda, we are the BT50 Ute experts. Talk to Neil, our BT50 genius, who can guide you seamlessly through the purchase experience. From choosing the right ute through to all the genuine accessories, Neil has the answers. At Mount Barker Mazda, we live and breathe Mazda BT50 Ute. Whether it's for work or play, we have the perfect BT50 Ute for you at a price you can't resist. Get good old country service at amazing city prices. That's the Mount Barker Mazda difference.
Are you or someone you know living with epilepsy? 1 in 25 Australians will develop epilepsy at some stage in their lives. The Epilepsy Centre in Adelaide is dedicated to raising awareness in the community to reduce the stigma and create a more welcoming and inclusive society. We do this by providing epilepsy awareness and seizure first aid to people living with epilepsy, their families and friends. Thanks to state government funding, we can offer this education at no cost. For more information, go to epilepsycentre.org.au.
I love Rosie, because I've got a Rosie.
You do indeed, a brand new one.
Brand new Rosie, only 2 weeks old. Rosie's texted me, Rowey, I'm a 70-year-old plus granny, and we are all guys these days. Well, thank you, Rose. That's what I was doing.
Yeah, I think I knew what you were doing.
We all got it.
Well, the umpire didn't. Steve McBurney didn't. He actually blows his whistle before the crowd roar.
Well, yeah.
No, he does, Timmy.
And he gave you a 50-metre. Not fair. Hey, I'm taking the...
thank you, Rosie.
Taking the kids away. We're just going for a little time up at Aldinga. And I've got to pack, all the goods and all that. And I've got 3 wine bags put out.
Oh, here we go.
And I'm not sure what to put in. So I've got the
boundaries.
I've got
the Black Guts.
Got the boundaries. Got
the
Black
Ripper
Guts.
Creek.
I've got the Ripper Creek. I've got the Good Shepherd. I've also
you like the Good Shepherd. That's a very well priced red.
I've also got the Drift Sand.
Oh, you do like that one.
So
$25.
The whole. I've got the 6 already selected.
Have you?
How's that?
Well done. And you're going away. Oh,
in the Esky, I've got the Christian.
the rosé. Have you got any Uncle Willie's port?
Yeah, I've got an Uncle Willie's.
Because tonight, the nights are starting to get a bit crisper.
And
nearly
I like
port weather.
It's nearly port weather.
It's nearly port weather. Look, we're talking about the Rusden family, 7 generations of grape growing. Christian is just an absolute legend. It's an experience to go to the cellar door. It is just, they're old-fashioned. You'll love driving up that driveway. They look after you like no tomorrow. If you've got guests, get there. And they do. If you say, look, I'd like a little Riesling, and they, we'll go down to such and such. I love how they love the area of the Barossa. They live it and they love it. Barossa, make your next red a Rusden, which Timmy G will do. Check out rusdenwines.com.au.
When you've been around for over a century, you know a thing or two. And South Australian Business Chamber and Ray White have almost 300 years between them. So when an alliance is formed between South Australian Business Chamber and Ray White Business Sales SA, all that experience flows to you. This ensures you're in top shape, whether you're buying, selling, or somewhere in between. Touch base with the experts. Search Ray White Business Sales SA. Proudly partnered with South Australian Business Chamber.
SEW Eurodrive offers innovative solutions with products and services provided from a single local source. SEW Eurodrive, driving Australian industry since 1982.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
22 minutes to 6. Terry McAuliffe in the next half an hour. And we'll also hear from Jamie Mellon, formerly Jamie Carr, ahead of the Adelaide Cup coming up on Monday. And you can watch on, if you're interested in watching the show, on Facebook and YouTube on the Peter Page Hyundai live stream. You can take a test drive today to find your perfect Hyundai car. Elizabeth Way at Elizabeth.
She went from a car to a melon.
Correct, she did. So, well, Melham, but yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Well, we'll get that right. No worries. Talking about getting things right, it was a sensational game against Auckland, a 4-all draw, just amazing game. But we've got to get some three-pointers into our belly at the Adelaide United Reds, and we've got an opportunity to do that tomorrow night at Cooper Stadium. One of the stars of the show, Ethan Alit, joins us now. G'day, Ethan.
Hey guys, how are you?
I was just talking about that game. What an amazing game it was against Auckland. Of course, they're very enthusiastic crowd, but every time we looked like we were down and out, we were able to fight back against them and score again. Now, it's quite staggering that their goals against, I think they've only had 17 scored against. We've scored 6 of them. It's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, they're a very good defensive side, but I also think we're very good attacking as well. So, I mean, when 2 and 2 come together, it's either going to go one way or the other.
It was quite the way the game panned out and the way that we were able to just keep fighting back, and to get that last one at the 98-minute mark. I think it was Bart Friends that knocked it in. It was just
the best game of the year.
Just a sensational game.
Best game of the
year. Without the 3 points, unfortunately, but gee, it was good.
Oh, yeah, it was. It was a great feeling, especially, I mean, even to get a draw over there is not easy. But I think coming away, if we didn't get even a point, it would have been very disappointing. But just to get a point was massive for us.
And gives us great confidence. I think you're clearly the 2 best teams. You start to get the young Socceroos stars back. How will the coach manage the boys back from overseas duties this week?
Not too sure at the moment, but obviously, you know, they all play important parts throughout the season and have played important parts. So I don't have any doubt that they'll be making impact at some point throughout tomorrow.
Yeah, we've conceded 9 goals in the last 3 games. So Ethan, my wish for tomorrow night versus Brisbane Roar is a clean sheet. That's number 1, and I'm tipping 7-0.
7, yeah, that's.
Well,
yeah,
they're
right.
useless, Ethan. They've won
that's-
one. Hang on.
Don't
They've
do
won
that.
one game for Ethan. They've won 1 game for the year.
Yeah, but I actually think they have been unlucky at times in some of their results, because some games that I've watched with them, they've actually been very good. And even last week against Melbourne Victory, they could have easily been 3-0 up, but they conceded in the 97th minute. So
yeah.
I actually don't think they're as bad, or I actually don't think that where their points on the table shows who they are as a team.
Don't talk them up, Ethan.
No, don't listen
What?
to him, Ethan.
Yeah,
okay,
Ethan,
you just
Ethan.
stick to your...
Ethan.
Yeah, exactly.
Do not let me drag you down. I love what you said.
Your attitude is excellent. Talking about keeping a clean sheet, your experienced goalkeeper in James Delianov comes back into the side this week, and I suppose for the defenders and everything, they'll be used to James being there.
Oh, yeah, I mean, obviously, Coxie, I think, did a really, really good job.
Absolutely.
Yeah, really good job. But at the end of the day, I think Carl mentioned it in an interview that Delhi was the number 1, and I think that was just waiting for him to get right. But Coxie did really, really well, and I was really happy for him to get those minutes as well.
Yeah, I thought he went about it really well. We spoke to him, and I just loved the way he attacked the ball. He had a crack, and that's what we love. And he'll get experience out of all those games and as he gets older. But I thought he's got a really bright future, so well done to him, mate. I was talking to Pana Kikianis when he came back from the youth Socceroos, which was an incredible win. But I was asking him about your energy levels and the like, and how... I suppose best to manage those guys when they come back. Would you expect any to start?
I'm not too sure at the moment. I think I'll find out tomorrow as well. But at the same time, you know, they have been back since, I think they got back Monday now, so they still should be pretty rested up and ready to go.
And we've got of course, Brisbane, and then we've got MacArthur next week at home as well. So a couple of home games, a couple of opportunities to put some points in the bag.
Yeah, 100%. We need to start piling on some wins, and there's no better place to do it than at Coopers. And I hope the fans can get behind us these next 2 weeks, because I think they're very, very important weeks for our season. And even the women's are playing after us tomorrow.
Double headers,
which will be good. So hopefully the fans can stick around for them as well and keep showing out like they have been week in, week out.
Yeah, they're having a great season too. We'll keep it up, mate. You're doing a great job, and let's get the points.
Thank you very much.
Ethan Alligatch, Adelaide United, and, well, a big game, making sure we get those 3 points and
great.
keep ourselves right up the top of the table.
5:45, we got Terry McAuliffe coming up. Riley O'Brien yesterday got a hole-in-one. It was a minor sporting miracle.
Yeah, it was.
202 centimetres. He's a little bit unco. Even he said himself he's not a good golfer, but he did hit it sweet. Hit the lip of the...
He's got a hole-in-one.
And it rolled in. You want to have another listen?
Talk to me, Bert. Talk to me, Bert. I can't see it. I can't see it.
Minor miracle.
Oh, my God.
So that's minor miracle. We've all had one, witnessed one, or been in one. Hello, Ken at Ingle Farm.
Yeah, well, what miracle you reckon I've had then? You reckon we've all had one in our life, do you?
Well, Ken, you've rung up. I hope you've had one.
Oh, man, geez, I mean, come on, I mean. But, yeah, that's amazing, isn't it? These holes in one are just, they're fluky and they're just lucky, but hey, it's all about having a go, isn't it?
It is.
Anyway, boys, it's great back to where he is, and great to be back into the scene. But I just want to know too is, we'll say hello to all me mate, all the soccer people and football people, cricket people down the Port Perry, Whyalla, Port Lincoln, and Port Augusta.
Beautiful.
Say hello to all them and the ones listening around the world. Get on the phone, would you? And
Kenny,
now
rustling up some business for us, buddy. Love you.
Good on you, mate.
Kenny, Kenny. The topic was sporting miracle. You don't have one then?
Oh, mate, I was just no. My miracle was I played for Rapina in Whyalla in the football, and I played soccer, and we got through it. And that's the main thing, mate. You know,
well
and,
done, Kenny.
You know, the bloke's talking about the cricket when he took 8 for 2.
Yeah.
But mate, honestly, I mean, look, the cricket standard, what was it, 8th division? Because that's the kind of division I was playing in. And,
Good on you, Kenny.
Come on, mate, you know.
Come on, Kenny. It's a Friday. You're in line with that Rusden Blackgut.
That's the way. Good work, Ken.
Ken always rings happy.
He does. He's a happy man. Let's go Paralowie. G'day, Marco.
Hello, boys.
Excellent, mate.
Good, yeah. No, my little miracle, if I call it a miracle, called it a jag. My son, George, he'd be pretty regular golf player at the Grange.
Yeah.
Not this year's live, the last year's live, pretty much the week coming into the live.
Yep.
Oh, he jagged his first hole in one.
Oh, well done.
Good.
On the Friday, well, I think it was the 3rd of March, pretty sure, on the 15th on the East Course.
Wow.
That is brilliant.
That's not
And
easy.
Then, on the same one, on the 27th March, on the temporary on the West Course, past 3, he jagged another one.
Oh,
so 2 hole-in-ones within a month at the
That
Grange
is
Course.
superb.
That
is superb.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Marco, but that one on the east, that's quite a long par 3 too, isn't it?
Yeah, the 15th.
Yeah, it's long, isn't it?
Sure it is.
Yeah.
So at golf clubs like that, Marco, correct me if you're wrong, and you're a golfer, Timmy, if you get a hole-in-one and it's legit, when you go back into the clubhouse, don't you get free beer for the rest of the night? Doesn't someone ring the bell?
I know they took pictures, they posted on their socials and that about it, but I'm not sure.
Well, if somebody knows, I think that's the case.
I might need it
Glenelg,
retrospectively.
Royal Adelaide or Keogh, or one of those good courses. If you get a hole-in-one, I reckon you get free grog that whole night.
Wow.
Somebody walks in, rings the bell, we got a hole-in-one, and then you just sit there and you fill your boots up.
We got a text. Yeah, that tradition finished in 1962.
Oh, did it?
So yeah. Sorry about that.
But I reckon there was a tradition
Apologies.
for that.
Might have been.
Well, I know this for a fact. You walk into one of those flash golf courses with your hat on.
Yeah. Oh no, you're going
and someone will ring the bell, and you have to buy everyone at the bar a beer.
No, wear a hat into a golf.
Cannot wear a hat.
No. Victoria are none for 46 at stumps on the end of today, so they lead by 48 runs at the moment over South Australia. That'll resume tomorrow. Let's check your roads.
At Huntfield Heights, outbound delays from Nelliga Smash on the Southern Expressway near Beach Road, Chandler's Hill, Carvey, Stubby Pole, Clarendon Road at Potter Road. In the Parklands, Wakefield Road is closed till Sunday night for the Adelaide Motorsport Festival, and areas around the east end of the city are pretty busy for the Fringe, so look out for lots of folk around there. Camera for the drive home, Mortimer Street, Karata Park and McKerney Avenue at Mitchell Park. This weekend at Harvey Norman, 40% of Samsung 8K TVs, up to 20% off Acer and Lenovo laptops, plus huge bedding floor stock clearance on now at Harvey Norman. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
We came up with a solution. what better way to end the curse once and for all than find two South Aussies coming home?
David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
Jack Lukosius, Alex Neil-Bullen will be joining us during the 2025 season.
Adelaide's leading breakfast show.
This is foolproof, is it not? Well, no one's come back and then gone again.
5AA Breakfast.
We think this is foolproof, and it's a nice perspective.
They're big names.
Weekdays from 6 a.m. on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
One of the best things about South Australia is there's so much of it. Fortunately, getting a parcel from one side to the other is easy with Stateliner. Sure, Stateliner have a fleet of modern, comfortable buses, but they'll also carry freight across the state for you. Affordable rates, and your parcel goes on the next available bus. From the city to Port Pirie, Whyalla and Port Augusta, Ceduna and Port Lincoln, the Riverland, Mount Gambier and many towns in between. Get your parcel moving quickly. Put it on the Stateliner bus.
Agatha Christie's breathtaking masterpiece. And Then There Were None. This best-selling crime novel of all time is now a brand new stage production. A tale of 10 strangers lured to a solitary mansion off the English coast. And Then There Were None. Directed by Robin Nevin. Opens August at Her Majesty's Theatre. Book at andthentherewerenone.com.au.
Hey guys, sick of the setup when you go camping? Check out Austrac Campers. With an electric roof, electric awning and electric step, camping is as easy as pushing a button.
Austrac Campers!
There were 2 times Cherie's mind was blown today. First, when she noticed the Colonel's bow tie looked like little legs, and when she got KFC's hot and crispy boneless box and couldn't remember ever getting something this great for $8. KFC. FLG. Not everywhere and not forever pickup only.
Stanford Mowers, real goers.
Stanford Mowers has closed their Jeps Cross store. But don't worry, there'll be a new one soon. You can still get all your garden equipment needs online at stanfordmowers.com.au and have them delivered right across Adelaide. In the meantime, if you want to visit in-store, you can still find everything you need at Stanford Mowers in Mount Barker or Murray Bridge. You'll find everything you need to know at stanfordmowers.com.au.
At IGA, great value is easy to find. Like Mercy Valley Vintage Cheddar Cheese, selected varieties, $4.50 each, better than half price. IGA, you can't beat local. Offer ends March 11, participating stores only, excludes Foodland.
The Elevate event is on now at Lexus of Adelaide. Receive a complimentary upgrade to our Encore Elevate Luxury Benefits program when you purchase any 2024 plate, new or demonstrator Lexus. With exclusive benefits like airport lounge access and curated events, Encore Elevate delivers an even more luxurious ownership experience. The Lexus of Adelaide Elevate event ends March 31. LVD 2009.
Win a tour of a lifetime with The Advertiser and Inspiring Vacations. Plus get a $100 voucher for entering. Buy the paper, find today's code word and enter at winwithnews.com.au. T's and C's apply. SA T24/2098.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
It's 8 minutes to 6. Timmy and Terry's tips are only a few moments away. Timmy, you've been down at Adelaide Cup Day, the barrier draw at Morphettville earlier today, so we'll find out a little bit more about that very shortly. But I do want to spend a second talking about the Adelaide Cup because on Monday, riding on Newfoundland is our, the person you'll hear now, Jamie Mellum, who of course changed name, Jamie Carr. It'll be very exciting to see her ride on Monday. Caught up with Tommy Wren earlier this afternoon.
It does. It means a lot. I love coming home, and last year winning a few Group 1s at home was very, very special. So another Adelaide Cup would be fantastic, just in front of friends and family. Looking forward to it. So, I think I'm a bit biased when I say I think the best females come from Adelaide, in my opinion. But I think I'm riding against one of the best female fences I have ever seen in Rochelle, and I think she's just an absolutely fantastic rider, and she's definitely going to make it to the top level. So I've seen her from the start, and she just got better and better. Yeah, I'm giving her a big rap. I think she's definitely one to look for in the future. And looking forward to riding him. I galloped him on Monday this week, and all systems go for next week. She's very good at obviously training stayers, so no, there's not another horse I'd rather be on in the race.
So can Jamie win? Let's find out.
Timmy and Terry's tips.
Yes, well, she certainly can on the Gay Waterhouse Newfoundland, and she knows how to ride a winner, but this bloke knows how to pick one. Racing.com's Terry McAuliffe. G'day, Terry. Well done this morning.
Oh, thanks, Tim. So, yeah, you got along to the barrier draw?
Certainly did, mate. I enjoyed it thoroughly, and I love the way you brought Alf Matthews into it, which was great, and I didn't realise his only Adelaide Cup win was 50 years ago as a 17-year-old. That was a great little piece.
Yeah, quite remarkable. 17 years of age. On Solomon, the Victorian that came over, and Alf got aboard. He told the story he was going really well in his early days as an apprentice rider, so they needed a lightweight rider. It only had 47 kilos, and Alf picked up the ride and got the money at 17 years of age, 50 years ago.
50 years ago. And you asked him, how'd you go on some others? And he said, oh, yeah, a couple of seconds and thirds, and you said, what? Did you say, I think you said jockey error, and you said, yeah, I picked the wrong horse.
Yeah, so obviously had a couple of opportunities to maybe go a different way in races where he didn't win and pulled the wrong rein. So it can happen. These days it's normally up to the jockey managers to organise that. I'm sure the riders still have some insight, but the jockey managers these days do a lot of that now. No,
it was fantastic. We got Murray Bridge tomorrow, so we'll quickly get some tips for that before we get into the Cup. So what do you got for us, mate?
Yeah, so Magic Millions Day there tomorrow at Murray Bridge. We've got the big sales coming up here in Adelaide next week. So they've got the 2-year-old Classic Race 5 worth over $200,000. Gin Spirit would have been a short price favourite and really hard to beat, but the Hayes boys have scratched and they've elected to run it at Flemington tomorrow. So that has really opened that race up.
Hasn't it?
And the other race for the 3- and 4-year-olds, the Magic Millions race number 7, the favourite there is Shady Thinker. It's only had the one start, which it won impressively, but gee, this is a lot harder tomorrow. I know my teammate, though, John Kelton's pretty keen on it. He's made it one of the better bets on the program, Shady Thinker. And the other one he likes is in race 2, number 8, Immortal Bliss.
It's got that marked down
there.
Yeah,
both of them, didn't you, Timmy?
Well, I did. I'm going to have to sort of rework my thinking here now. Now, I'll give you race 6, number 9, Hatich. It's got to be due. Again, Rochelle's riding it, but it's got some value about it. It keeps running
it's
second.
going really well. It's got an outside gate to contend with, and probably when it gets to this sort of distance range, 1,800 metres tomorrow, it needs everything to go its way. But Rochelle Milne's riding so well, clearly leading the jockey premierships, and massive thrill for her, obviously, on Monday, riding in the Adelaide Cup, riding Silent Sorrente.
Yes, she is too. Look forward to that. Putting that in my boxed trifecta. Now, race 9, I've given everybody a trifecta. It's guaranteed to 11, 13 and 15. That is Navy Gold, Exalted Kate and Swifty Harriet.
Yeah, well, I'm interested in the 15, Swifty Harriet. It's trained by Travis Dowdwell. He's got a runner in the Adelaide Cup on Monday, Sentimental Flame, one of the outsiders, which can run a cheeky race at big odds, but I was at track work at Morphettville on Tuesday morning, and this filly was actually working Swifty Harriet, part owned by Rob Chapman. And Travis said, this is the filly I'm really excited about in the carnival races coming up here in Adelaide. So he's got a good opinion of her, and she was really impressive winning last start at Balaclava.
Beautiful. We'll put that down. Hey, mate, what about the Cup? Who do you think wins?
Look, I probably haven't actually pinpointed an outright selection right at this stage. I mean, I just think there are a lot of good stories within the Cup, which I always go looking for. I know John's keen on Terra Mansour. He thinks it's the horse to beat. Philip Stokes going for a third win in the Adelaide Cup, Lachlan Neindorf with the ride. But you were just talking to Jamie Carr about Newfoundland, which is trained by Gay Waterhouse and Adrian Bott. Gay's dad actually won the Cup way back in 1981, the late, great Tommy Smith with Just a Dash. And later that year, Just a Dash went to Flemington and won the Melbourne Cup as well. So, it's a nice story. I know that Blake Shin, he rides Promises Kept for Kieran Maher, one of 2 runners in the race for Kieran. His first ever Group 1 race, back when the Adelaide Cup was a Group 1. He won the Adelaide Cup in 2005 on Demerger for Danny O'Brien. So, that'd be a nice story if that happened. But ultimately, boys, I'll just be cheering for the locals and maybe hoping one of the the South Aussies can, pull off the big race on Monday.
Lockie will do
Brilliant.
it. Lockie
Excellent.
Nindorf will
Box
do it.
trifecta, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8. That's me. Well done.
Hey, Rowey, we did your tip. You found the winner last week.
Yes, I did. And great odds too, Tez.
Thanks to Adam.
Absolutely.
Adam tipped that. He put it through on the text. He just read it.
I did. I did a little blind squirrel there, Tez.
Fantastic result.
Have a good one.
Johnny turned to me last Saturday when that horse won. He said, "That's the thing Rowey tipped last night."
Well, Lockie Nindorf will win it on Monday. Watch that.
There you go. Good tip.
On Terra Mansour?
Yes, he will.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, Tez.
Should be a great day, boys.
It
It's going
will
to be
be.
hot, but it'll be a big day. And don't forget they've got the band happening after the last. They've got
Sneaky
the concert.
sound system.
Yeah, absolutely. So for a general admission ticket price, which I think is about $30, $35, that's
perfect.
That's a pretty cheap concert.
Yeah.
Not wrong. Look forward to it, mate. Thanks, Terry. That's racing.com's Terry McAuliffe. Does a great job, and there you go. Number 4 is the pick from Stephen Rowe. He's on a roll.
Oh, let's hope he can get 2 from 2. All right, enjoy the weekend in regards to the Adelaide Cup. We do want to give away Rusden Wine's Black Gut Shiraz, however, here before we go to the news.
Darryl, 8 for 2.
Well done.
8 for 2.
Pretty easy win that.
That
Miracle.
does it.
Who takes 8 for 2 and not win a Black Gut Shiraz? In the Barossa Valley, home of the Black Gut Shiraz, rusdenwines.com.au. We'll take a break for the 6 o'clock news, and then Chris Davies, the Port Adelaide GM, next.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
Online, on DAB Digital Radio, and on 13.